We're live, Steve. Do you want to move, Steve?
Masses, just like witches at black masses, evil minds that plot destruction.
Hi, Steve. How are you?
I'm well, Phil. Thank you. How are you?
Good, thank you. I want to thank you say for coming, and thank you for accepting to come along my invitation.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Those of you who are watching today, thank you. People from Myanmar, as you can see, I'm wearing Myanmar jersey so that people can see me clearly. And those of you, I think people from US friends, and Australia friend as well. I'm in Sydney now. So my name is Phil Wynn. I'm a founder of Wynn Hypnotherapy. Now I'm here to chat with special guest, Dr. Steve G. Zhou. He's a board of certified clinical hypnotherapist who has been practicing 1980. Wow, Steve, you've been practicing so long.
Practice makes perfect.
That's right. And also, Steve, you wrote many books, 25 books. Wow.
I stay busy.
Law of Attraction, weight loss. You created 9,000 audio recording in 22 different countries, online certification program as well. So many things you are doing. Why did you do that, Steve? So much hours to do that.
Yeah, well, I had free time. I had to do something, But we basically created the hypnosis audios based on customer request. Someone would email us and say, "Do you have an audio on this?" And we would say, "No, we don't, but we will." And then we would create that. So it was mostly customer driven.
Oh, right, that's great. And also, I noticed most of the clients you help, some of them are influential people in the movie industry, famous superstars as well, Steve. And some of them are multi-millionaire that you are contributing. And also, not just that, some of them are not wealthy. Doesn't matter, whoever you are helping now. Why did you do that? And before you ask, I only ask so many questions now. And then by the way, Steve, before I ask so many questions, you look great and you look very young.
Well, thank you, Phil. I appreciate that.
I don't know, I'm 47 young.
Yeah. Thank you. My girlfriend today was just telling me that I'm essentially 5 years old.
Oh.
That works. That works. Got to keep a young mind and young spirit.
Yes, that's great. And today is so I think is in life. In life we need to have a purpose, right? Purpose, outcome, and action plan. And I also I learned from you as well. Then I study your program, and you've been my teacher as well all my life. Even though I haven't met you before in person like this, and then I study your CD and audio recording wherever I go, and I'm a little bit crazy person that keep on listening and keep on working on it, and now the person is right in front of me and talking with me right now, and then sharing people that what we can do and what you can explain a little bit more detail that how can we help to people that who are suffering corona in Myanmar. So that's another part that we want to try to achieve, and talking about anxieties and all the stress happening right now. Yeah, so I want to thank you again, and I mean, I really appreciate that you are coming along. A lot of people talk about sex on TV show, and I think more importantly is health is more important, in my opinion. Health is the most important in life. If we're not really healthy, we can't do anything. And another thing is, of course, money is important, and I would say wealth is combine all these factors, right? So we be covering health and wealth. That's why we created by using hypnosis. How can you use an surprising technique that all your life, then how you have and what you do in life. So yeah, I have so I can ask you so many things, but the first thing is, what does hypnosis mean to you?
Well, to me, hypnosis means a way to take control of your own thinking and your own focus. Hypnosis is a focused state of mind in which you're more suggestible. And so you're going to be hypnotized in one way or another anyway, by media, by friends, family, environment, everything. So you may as well take control of it. So for me, it means a way to take control of various aspects of your life so that you can get the outcomes that you want rather than random outcomes that would be produced by the environment that you live in.
Right. It's so long, right? You studied since 1980s.
Yes.
How come at the time, I'm pretty sure you were very young, right?
I started studying in high school. Yes, I was very young. I was about 14 or 15 years old. Yes.
Whoa. Oh, at that time I was 7, actually.
Okay.
So much difference, you and I.
Yeah.
And yeah, so why did you want to learn that hypnosis? Because the reason why I'm asking is a lot of people, especially in Myanmar, where I come from, many people think this is a trick, right? So are you going to take my money from my pocket, or are you going to trick me? Or that's misconception mind that oh, you can't hypnotize me, I'm not allowing you to do that. Even in Australia, to some of them, so I still not believe that. Don't do that. I'm not going to do this anyway. All this stuff going on. So, I mean, can you please share the power of hypnosis? That how can it impact you when you start practice? Right? What happening to you?
When you're in hypnosis, it's just like when you're in normal life. I mean, we do go in and out of hypnosis all the time. It's just a relaxed state in which you're more focused. So you can be hypnotized while you're in a classroom, for example, while you're driving a car, reading a book, watching TV. It's just a natural thing that the human mind does. It slows down and it focuses on one thing to the exclusion of other things. And so we're doing the same thing. We're just taking advantage of that natural ability that humans have, except we're using it for something focused, to work on motivation or creating wealth or confidence or creativity or whatever they may want to work on. We're putting those positive thoughts in their mind while they're there. But people go into hypnosis every day, watching TV, watching social media. These are hypnotic states that are unfortunately often taken advantage of by companies that own social media platforms and that own television corporations and so forth. And we're using it instead for something that we want instead of something that they want.
Awesome, isn't it? So basically, what you're telling me is they're using power of their own mind and use it and manifest what they want, and they're becoming what they want, right? Isn't it, Steve?
Exactly. Yes. Using the power of your own mind to focus on what you want and to get what you want. Yes, you said it absolutely correctly, Phil.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm not quite sure, where I came from, Myanmar. I'm not coming from the wealthy family. People are still struggling to survive for food every day and stay home, and especially like COVID-19 time is at the moment government decided to stay home. If I'm not wrong, I look at yesterday, November 21st to December 5 is they don't declare a period of they want the people to stay home a very uncertain time. That is a reason why I like to help, and whatever I can do, little things that I want to contribute. Because where I came from, Myanmar, is it's really hard, and a lot of people are still surviving, and everyone is affected, even wealthy people. Everybody's. It's really hard situation right now. So I want to thank you as well. Like, please, when I say, ask you and request you, say you happy to send a Phil, let's do and help something that we can do. Thank you, Steve. I really appreciate that. Firstly, I want to thank you. I want to thank you again. So as you know, I mean, coronavirus time. It's a pandemic time. A really hard time. People focus on. A lot of people cannot focus on physical health. When people stay home or going to they call it cube center, quarantine area, and people, they cannot focus on their health. They are worried about the money, and they worry about mental issue. A lot of things going on right now. So that's, I mean, yeah. So that I think it's the coronavirus and mental issue is directly impacted, isn't it, Steve?
Definitely. There are a lot of people committing suicide and suffering from depression and abusing drugs, including alcohol and heavier, more dangerous drugs. And this is happening increasingly because of the isolation that people are in. I myself I'm what would be called a loner anyway. My girlfriend is the same way. We prefer to be by ourselves, so it's not having that much of an impact on people like myself and her. But a lot of people, they really thrive on that social interaction, and without it, they get extremely depressed, and they turn to things that are just really not good for them. And so we're seeing a huge increase in all of that.
It's impacting everything, isn't it? So it's a social, you can't go out, and everywhere it's happening now. And as I mentioned earlier, a lot of people are suffering right now. I heard that more than 1,500 more cases happening, and another lockdown coming up, and it's very serious. I don't know in Australia now, a very uncertain time. So and you mentioned yesterday, Steve, anxiety, right? Anxiety is a major problem, right? So I want you to explain to the whoever watching here audience that how many type of anxiety, common anxiety happening now, and what are the impact, negative impact happening in their life, and how we going to prevent and make sure that stay safe. Yeah, thank you, Steve.
Sure. Yeah. Staying safe would, of course, be by following your government's guidelines. Whatever they tell you to do, follow that. But as far as staying mentally safe on top of that, you'll want to really realize that, as I mentioned before, hypnosis is a focused state of mind. So when you continually focus on the negative news, you have to know what's going on, but you don't have to focus on it constantly. We as humans are programmed to want to know what's going on in our environment so that we can control the environment, so that we and our offspring can survive. That's just natural. But it's excessive when we constantly focus on that. So I would encourage people to use the power of hypnosis by focusing on pleasant things, keep aware, keep abreast of what's going on and what you need to do and not do. But the majority of your time should be focused on hobbies that you enjoy, that you can do at home, and programs that you can watch, that you can enjoy. And even with social media, if you use it the right way meaning to give you the outcomes that you want, you can watch pleasant documentaries or shows with other people. You don't even need to be with them to watch them. And so you can have that community feel and that focus on something positive, even when you're in isolation.
That's great advice, Steve. So it is really important that the focus on the thing that what we can do, right, rather than what we can do, the negative things. I really like the line that you mentioned. And another thing is, Steve, I believe that exercise, right? You can see my jersey, Mami's jersey.
There you go. Yeah, exercise. I'm all about exercise. My girlfriend's a kung fu cardio trainer, so she keeps me active. And so I walk every evening. She and I walk for an hour every evening, and I have a full workout twice a week. And I make sure I eat right, get plenty of rest, take a nap during the day. So all of that is very important. You're quite right, Phil.
Yeah. So some of the people who are watching now, it's they are very highly educated people. Some of them they wanted to know and a little bit more. Maybe they want to know a bit more details about exercising, the benefit of exercising. Right. My understanding is when we exercise, full chemical activate in our brain and in our body, correct, right, Steve?
Yes, I'm not a medical doctor, so I'm not equipped to give you a full detailed explanation of it, but I can tell you from the more of the psychological side, it's tremendously beneficial. The chemicals that are released when you exercise are extremely beneficial to you. It's very important. And I'm aware of studies that show that beyond just taking time to exercise on occasion, for example, I walk every evening for an hour and I exercise a full exercise twice a week, but you also need to stay active during the day. That means not being sedentary. That means if you're in front of a computer, taking time to stand up every now and then. If you're watching TV, taking time to walk around sometimes. It turns out from the studies that I've seen that that's even more important, making sure that you get activity throughout the day, spaced out throughout the day, and that helps in decreasing negative health outcomes.
Awesome. So how we keep on staying positive and how we do exercise mentally, physically is very important, right?
Absolutely. And I know it's challenging. It's challenging for everyone. It's something you've got to almost make yourself do. But, that's what it takes. So make yourself do those things. You'll find out that you like them. I don't always get excited about exercising. Sometimes I have to make myself do it. But I'm always happy that I did it afterwards. And I make sure that I walk every day, every single day. I get outside, if you're allowed outside. I also make sure that I get up during the day from watching TV or working on the internet. I make sure that every 15 minutes or half hour at the most, I get up and walk around. Sometimes you have to make yourself do those things. I focus on positive things. I find out what's on the news, but I also, for the majority of the time, what I'm looking at is just positive things, positive movies, positive documentaries, talking to positive people like yourself, Phil, that kind of thing.
That's really important. Exactly right. So how we, I heard one of the quote called, whatever we think in our mind all the time. I think that is a quote from Buddha. You become what you think most of the time. I think you probably know the quote, right? So I really like that, Steve. Whatever we are thinking in our mind, sooner or later, even I wanted to talk to you for a long time and later on, and now I start manifesting and now become a reality that you're sitting right in front of me, isn't it?
You are a living example of how manifestation works. What you focus on is what you get. So that's the way it works. And it sounds like magic. It sounds like some kind of hocus pocus, but really it's all extremely logical. You're going to set your mind on looking for that, and your mind's going to find that in the environment, whatever it is you're looking for, whether it's, quote, good or bad. You're going to find that, and it's going to seem like magic, but really it's just a matter of what you focus on, you get.
Exactly right. I really like that. I really, really like that. What we focus on, what we get, right? If we focus on the thing that what we want, we get what we want, right? If we focus on the thing that we don't want, I don't want this, I don't want that, we keep on attracting that we don't want.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of like people who drink. Sometimes this is helpful, but sometimes it works against them. They focus on not drinking. Like, let's say an alcoholic, they focus on not drinking, but they're thinking about drinking all the time. That's just an example. It could be anything. It could be overeating, or it could be watching too much TV or anything like that. So if you focus on the thing that you don't want, even if you're thinking how much you don't want it, you're still reminding yourself about it. So the trick is to focus instead on what you do want, and then what you don't want just gets lost by the wayside. It's out of your vision. It's out of your focus.
Exactly. Let's go to the depression or anxiety part. And you mentioned yesterday, Phil, it's great, the idea that we should go to help them, the anxiety part. Why people anxiety? What is anxiety, Steve?
It can be caused by different things, but a lot of it is that part of our evolutionary programming it's part of why we're still here, why our parents were able to reproduce and other people's parents weren't. It's because we're paying close attention to the environment to look for what's wrong. We want to find out what's wrong because your chances of survival are much greater if you're constantly looking for what's wrong, even if you're wrong most of the time, even if usually nothing's actually wrong. If you're looking out for what is wrong through this thing that we call anxiety, then you're much more likely to pick it up. So it's sort of the price we pay for being the genetically privileged humans who are living, and that's just the way it's worked, because our ancestors did pay attention, and they sometimes they paid more attention than they needed to, but because of that, they avoided mistakes, they avoided challenges, they avoided death, and they got to reproduce and pass on their genetic material. So anxiety is simply a byproduct of evolutionary development. It's not a good thing or a bad thing, but in modern society, we find it's just tuned way too high. We don't need it tuned this high. We do not need to be this concerned in most cultures. If you were living somewhere where you were in the woods and people were hunting humans or something like that, then it would be appropriate. But in most modern societies, it's not appropriate. And so we need to tune it down a little bit so that it's not bothering us, because it's not necessary for our survival. In fact, anxiety can cause early death. Anxiety is related to a number of negative health outcomes, such as heart attack and all kinds of ways to die early, which genetically speaking is not a problem, because you can still pass on your genetic material, so the genome doesn't actually care about that. But if you want to live a long, healthy life and you care about your life, then you should address that.
So thank you, Steve. What are the symptoms that my understanding is some of them they cannot identify easily whether they have or they don't have. What are the obvious symptoms, or the how can we identify they already have, Steve?
Identify what? I'm sorry, Phil.
Identify. How do we know somebody got anxiety? How do we know?
How do we know that we have anxiety?
Yes.
Well, usually you'll know. I mean, you'll get worried about things like if you have a trip coming up, you may worry about the plane crashing. A little bit of this is normal, and it's probably not going to go away. Like I said, it's built in for our survival. You want to be a little concerned about things. You want to use common sense, and so common sense is fed by anxiety. So a little bit is good and will help you from dying, which is the whole purpose of anxiety. But you'll know that you have excessive anxiety when it's crippling your life, when it's causing you not to do things that you think you would enjoy, and when you're suffering because of it. So if it's causing an outcome that you don't want, then that's when you know that you have excessive anxiety that you should deal with if you want to have a more peaceful life.
Right. That's so some of the that's great, Steve. Is that the reason why depression is going on down the path when the anxiety happened?
Is that why people get depressed when they have anxiety?
Yes.
Well, depression, just like anxiety, it's multifactorial, so it could be many things, but that is definitely one of the possibilities when you have anxiety. If it's causing you, let's say that you're afraid to fly because you think the plane will crash, and so you don't fly. Genetically, for your survival, that makes perfect sense. But in a modern society where air travel is extremely safe and safer than traveling by car, it doesn't make much sense. So that could definitely cause you then to be depressed because you really want to be somewhere else, Myanmar or Australia or the USA or wherever you want to be. But if you're too afraid to go there because you're afraid that you're going to die, then that can cause depression. So that's just one case where it can be linked. But depression and anxiety do have a variety of causes, especially depression.
Awesome. Yeah, so that is the main things I reckon is happening in Myanmar, especially not only there in Australia as well. A lot of people, some of them, even I believe that very highly successful celebrities as well, right? And I watched one of your show that you help to people, celebrity movie producer, right? And where you live, I think is Beverly Hills, right? So I actually watched the. So are they normally happening social anxiety or?
You may be talking about Tom Mankiewicz, the writer of Superman the movie, who I worked with when I had my office in Beverly Hills. Yeah, his issue was not social anxiety; it was smoking. He wanted to stop smoking. He's since passed away, but it was because of pancreatic cancer. So unfortunately, he passed away. But I helped him stop smoking after smoking every day for 45 years. But he did not have social anxiety at all. Actually, he was very social. Most of the Hollywood types are actually extremely social, so that's not an issue for them for the most part. But they have a number of other issues. Sometimes it's substance abuse. That's a major issue for that particular crowd.
Usually is social anxiety, right?
Social anxiety is an issue for some people, yes.
Some people, yeah. So it's a Superman movie. Wow, he's a very famous guy.
Yeah, Tom Mankiewicz. He comes from a long line of famous people. I was fortunate to work with him. It's just because I had my office there. So if you have an office in Beverly Hills, you're going to get celebrities. Just like if I had an office in New York, I'd probably get Wall Street, famous Wall Street billionaires. It's just the neighborhood that I was in.
Neighborhood, right? So why people want to start to believe that hypnosis will work, right? So I noticed very highly successful people, they use hypnosis, and celebrity as well, like a Mac Damon, Ellen as well. So many people that they are using. They are working on it. They actually use hypnosis, right, Steve?
A lot of successful people do. A lot of people use it to as a tool. They use many different techniques. They're usually very aware of a lot of self-help techniques that they can use. Hypnosis does tend to be in their toolbox as something that they can use. Yeah, Tiger Woods, for example, I haven't worked with him, but his father took him to a hypnotherapist when he was a kid. I think he was 12, to help him work on golf, which a lot of people who golf use hypnosis because it's a mental game. You have to really focus. So hypnosis is perfect for golf. So we do see a lot of celebrities for a variety of reasons using hypnosis and having success with it, I'm happy to report.
Right. So now is who are the question now I want to ask you is the people who are suffering, really scared now, people uncertain that they don't earning because of COVID, go home and take a rest, the boss is saying that yeah, you got to go back home and you can take a break. Easy to say break, but they're not earning any money for a couple of weeks. It's really impacting on their mental. What I'm going to do? I don't know what other thing I can't do, and start going on worry and start depressed, and they know how to do exercise, but they don't do it. For those people that who are really suffering now, what is your advice that you wanted to give, Steve?
Well, I would say as a hypnotherapist, as I mentioned, I would find things that you can focus on that are positive. You have to understand what's going on in the world so that you can take appropriate action and protect yourself. But finding something to focus on, whether it's maybe bonsai plants, the little plants that people trim, maybe it's painting, maybe it's music, maybe it's something that you haven't even explored, part of you that you may not even know yet, that's in the back of your mind. And I'd be willing to bet that there will be a lot of people who are starting businesses right now during the lockdowns, the extended lockdowns and all types of lockdowns. We're going to hear in a few years about businesses that started up during this time because people needed something to do. So they started an online business. The majority of my business is online, for example. So you can do perfectly well with an online business. So find something. You don't have to become a super entrepreneur or anything like that, but just find something that for you, you can focus on. And if on top of that, it pays the bills and it generates money, or it can eventually generate money, then that's a bonus. But I'd settle for just survival for now. Just find something that will keep you from losing your mind. A lot of people are just, for lack of a better expression, they kind of lose their minds and they don't know what to do and they don't know how to control themselves to the point where they can focus on something positive. So find that within yourself. If you want to use hypnosis for that, I think that's a great tool, but find it within yourself to start focusing on something positive that works for you.
Thank you, Steve. That's a really good advice. Another question is the sleeping problem. Steve, sleeping that they cannot sleep well at night time. Even successful people in Myanmar, they are now thinking to implement the new business and new platform they want to create. They cannot sleep well. So some of the entrepreneurs I work with, they feel I can't sleep. How to do it? And those are people who cannot sleep, right? So what are the things that they can prevent and sleep well? So what advice you wanted to give, Steve?
Yeah, I'd recommend hypnosis, of course, because I'm a hypnotherapist. If I were a medical doctor, perhaps I'd recommend medication. But I find that hypnosis is very helpful for that. I have a hypnosis audio designed for that. And when I talk in my hypnotic voice, it's very boring. So it puts you to sleep. So it's that helps. But Thanks. A lot of the entrepreneurs who are not able to sleep well, it's based on their anxiety about not being able to get the outcomes that they want financially. They're worried that their business is being hurt. So I think for them, they may need something of a deeper, more spiritual nature. For example, I watched a video yesterday about Ram Dass. He worked with Timothy Leary at Harvard, doing some experiments, and he was fired. Then he went to India and studied with a guru, and he became a very spiritual person. He went from being a Harvard psychologist, suit and tie and very uptight, to being basically a hippie and just being one with everyone and one with the universe. So you don't have to go that far. But if you can find a deeper spiritual meaning to life that goes beyond money and fame and success and having people see how successful you are, if you can find meaning that goes deeper than that, then you'll gain as much as someone starting a multi-million-dollar business during this time. In fact, you'll have something better than that because it's highly sustainable and it's going to pay dividends for the rest of your life. You're going to be able to find comfort in that in other future things that go quote unquote wrong in the world.
Right. So what you're saying is even wealthy people, even though they have plenty of money, still happening, right? These are the anxiety and depression, not only for the poor people who are striving to get a job and things like that. I think it's everywhere, right, Steve?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, don't confuse wealth with happiness. There's not necessarily a correlation. The studies show that in America, up to making $70,000 a year, as you go up to make currently, we're in 2020 right now. So as you go up to making $70,000 a year, you get more and more happy. That makes sense. More money, more happiness. But after that, there's not a strong correlation like that. So what that tells me is that people, it's kind of like Maslow's hierarchy of needs. If you don't have your basic needs, if you don't have food and shelter and so forth, you're going to not be very happy. But once you have all of that, you don't just keep getting happier. Mark Zuckerberg doesn't get happier every extra billion he gets. After a while, it becomes almost meaningless. So there's not a correlation between extreme wealth and extreme happiness. In fact, sometimes it's quite the opposite because those people work so hard and get so much money and they realize it's not leading to happiness. They still have that drive they have to get more. And again, that's genetically driven. The idea that we're not enough, that's genetically driven so that we keep on pushing and pushing and pushing so that we don't run out. So yeah, it's not a matter of getting more money, but it is a good thing to be able to have your needs met.
Awesome. I think it's as you clearly explain about, it's not only about money, it's focusing on the health, focusing on the thing that what they want, whatever they can get. The vision is, for example, like if they get a girlfriend, they are successful, right? If they get a girlfriend they want, and the job that they want, and you can be a successful person too in their turn, right? No need to only that, if I get this $1 million, I'll be happy. That's not right. Yeah. So depending upon the vision and the goal that individual needs and organization needs, right? Since everybody is different, isn't it, Steve?
Absolutely. And the sooner that anyone realizes that, the better off they'll be. Usually people have to become wealthy or have to work most of their lives to attempt to become wealthy before they really figure it out that that's not the answer. And so I think, yes, you've absolutely got it right, Phil. There's something beyond that. Unfortunately, right now, during the times of coronavirus, we have people who are well below that minimum mark. I mentioned you could get happier in the U.S. up to $70,000 per year. So that's different depending on the currency in everyone's country. But there's some people who are well below that, are living in poverty, and they're suffering, and that's real, and that needs to be addressed. Countries are, since we're all on fiat currency nowadays and money isn't real anymore, the countries are producing more of it to give to their people, as they should, and hopefully they'll continue to do that, since they can do that and it's the right thing to do. But yeah, we have people who really need help. So if you know anyone who needs some help, help them out. That'll help them. That'll make you feel better too.
Exactly right. When you make yourself happy and help other people happy, you're happy, right? I can see that I have a strong feeling that you have a lot of people, even though you don't tell me you help, but I look at your record, so many people you help, and I always see you always look young and healthy and wealthy as well, Steve. Tell me your secret. How did you maintain? You look handsome and powerful look. People wanted to come and talk to you in the conference, and you always keep on smiling and wearing the nice dress. And how did you do that? That sort of daily routine.
Well, Phil, I appreciate that. These days, I do have a wonderful girlfriend, and she keeps me happy.
Is that your secret?
Right?
Is that your secret?
That's my secret currently. Yes. Finding love, and but even before that, I love myself. And that's really important. You have to love yourself. It has to start with that. So you have to love yourself. You have to love your life. You have to love what you're doing. If you're doing something that you don't enjoy, maybe you need to do it now to get some money. That's fine. Everyone's been there. I've been there. But overall, your life should be focused on your contribution. What is going to give you the most reward? What's going to make you feel happy and make you feel complete? And then you become instantly happy. The moment you quit that job that you didn't like anyway and start focusing on your dream and your passion, even if you're not making much money, you become instantly happy, because it's not really about the money. It's about the feelings that you get from it. And it's very difficult to get good feelings from doing something that you don't feel good about. So it sounds trite, I know, but it's true. Find your passion and focus on that. And that's going to keep you healthy and happy and young and strong looking and sociable and all of that. Absolutely.
Just like me, huh?
Just like you, Phil. Just like you with the music at the beginning. Absolutely. I love that. I love that. I didn't know I was supposed to be dancing at the very beginning, but once you cued me in, I started dancing there. Yeah, that's that kind of thing. That's you're obviously a happy person, and you're not waiting to be happy. You're not working on being happy. You're being happy right now, and that's what happens when you find your passion and follow it. You're instantly happy, instantly successful.
Exactly. You don't have to wait to be happy. That people always around the cycle of the judgment. I am better than you. You better than me. And who are you? I'm a medical doctor. I'm an engineer. All that stuff going on everywhere. I know better than you. These days, to me, is not important. It's the most important thing is what am I doing right now? How am I supposed to help myself first? And help others straight away. What can I do? Little things that what we know. For example, like, okay, somebody is having a problem in sleeping. Okay, how can I help you right now? And they sleep well. That instantly makes me happy, Steve. Right? So we don't have to have a big thing to be happy, isn't it?
Absolutely. I mean, part of our genetic programming is to be cooperative. The only ones who don't have that would be people who are antisocial, have antisocial personality disorder. Those would be psychopaths and sociopaths. Those are the only people who don't get joy from helping others. The rest of us who have normal brain structure and chemistry are deriving happiness from helping each other. We are cooperative as humans. When we help each other, we are happy, and that again is for our genetic survival. It turns out that if I help you and we live in the same village, then I'm more likely to survive, because then you'll you'll want to help me more. And
Yeah.
so we get a chemical reward from helping others. We actually get dopamine from helping others, and we get other chemicals as well. But that's designed so that, again, so that we can, I mean, it doesn't sound very romantic. It's designed so that we pass on our genes so that the genome can continue growing and spreading over time. But we can take advantage of that in a sense and realize that to give is to get. We receive when we give, because that's how we feel good about ourselves when we're helping other people. That's a beautiful thing, and it's such an easy, simple process if we embrace it.
So valuable, Steve. Exactly right. So money is energy, right, Steve? It's when we help people, the same value that when we produce, sometimes you may not get from the same person when I give, and the same value that you send out, you receive from somewhere, and some other places, it bouncing back. The universe, it's an energy, isn't it, Steve? When you send the energy to a signal and then you get the right signal back to you that, oh, okay, and then I should get it, isn't it? So yeah.
Yeah, money is a great way to look at that. Money is just a scoreboard of the exchange of energy, which is the exchange of value. So if you're helping people, they're going to and you're charging them, they're going to give you money. I charge for my services. When I help people, they give me money. And then if someone else is offering something, food or shelter or entertainment, I give them money. But it's all an exchange of energy. It's just the way that we, in our modern society, keep track of the energy.
I like to ask this time is a world question, Steve. The world question is, you've been working on internet. A lot of people didn't know about the internet before. You've been massively using your audio program that you started been selling after, I think, in 90. I noticed that, right? Steve G. Jones. When people type on Google, Steve G. Jones is everywhere. So at the time, how did you start knowing that if you do that online and helping out? I think you've been implemented, for my understanding, is so long. And how did you do that? Of course, that you've been reading a lot of books and you studied from a lot of people. How did you do that? That your wealth of success is so huge now that now is people asking you to do that, and you're very, very. I mean, I would say you're a contributor, and then that's why I respect you, Steve. How did you do that? What is the process behind?
Well, it's been just like anything else. Like the song says, it's a long way to the top if you want to rock and roll. So there's been a lot. There have been a lot of steps along the way, but basically it's been just about focusing on my contribution. As I mentioned early on in this interview, a lot of the hypnosis audios that I've created were customer driven. People would email in or write letters and say, do you have an audio for this? And we would say no, but we will. And then we would create it. So it's really just been giving people what they want in the capacity that I have. So as a hypnotherapist, creating hypnosis audios for people that they want. And so it turns out that when you provide what people want, they will buy it, and then you will make money. So it's been a very simple process. It's been a long road, of course, and there have been a lot of things that have happened along the way. But if I had to sum it up, I would just say it's been just focusing on my contribution.
Thank you so much, Steve. And I noticed that you're not only focusing on health or wealth area, other area like lifestyle and also dating as well. I noticed that dating, that you've been working along with other successful people, dating website as well, right? So a lot of people now look for a girlfriend, a boyfriend, relationship. I think it's a major issues going on in I reckon. How did you develop that, right? So I mean, you use hypnosis as well to teach them as well, right?
Yes, we do have a number of programs designed to help people in dating. The interesting thing about those programs is it's mainly focused on the person themselves. So it turns out that if you are more confident in yourself, you're more likely to be attractive to the person you may be interested in. So it's not about, people may think a dating hypnosis audio would be about hypnotizing someone and making them like you, but it's quite the opposite. It's about hypnotizing yourself and making yourself like yourself. That's the most attractive thing that you can do, is to really like yourself and to treat yourself with respect. And when you do that, other people notice that and they are attracted to you.
That's so true. It's a love yourself first. Love yourself first before others like you, right? That's a really, really great tips that I can share other more. It's a really great tools that. What are the other advice? Now, I'd like to ask you about how would you give advice to prevent mentally unstable people now? Some of them in the hospital, they cannot go back, and especially in Myanmar, it's happening now. So, what are the things that to be prepared, to organize? They don't know what to do. It's very uncertain right now.
I wasn't quite clear on the question. You're talking about someone who's mentally unstable and in a hospital?
That's right.
Can you define mentally unstable?
Yeah, mentally unstable is pretty because they already infect the coronavirus, and they are now unsure what's going to happen next. And
okay.
Yes.
You're not talking about someone who's psychotic necessarily. No. You're talking about, okay, they're emotionally. Their world has been disrupted because they have coronavirus and they're in the hospital. Is that what you're saying?
That's right.
Well, they're probably in very good hands with people who are far better trained than I am to deal with that. So definitely listen to what they're telling you there, and hopefully they have access to the resources that they need. But a lot of that is going to be handled physically with hopefully the medication that they're going to get, and the fact that they're going to get proper rest and the nutrition that they need. But beyond that, they can use the same things that people who don't have coronavirus, who are just in isolation, are using, that we talked about earlier, which is really focusing on the positive. It can be difficult, I can imagine. I've been in the hospital before. I know it's difficult to focus on something positive when you're in such a, quote unquote, negative type place. People don't go to the hospital because they're doing well. So unless they're having a baby or something like that. But finding something positive, whether it's a positive program on TV or on their computer, on their phone, or finding a friend there, maybe it's a doctor or a nurse or an orderly or another patient, finding that within yourself, focusing on the future, focusing on what you'll do when you get out. That can be very powerful. Whenever I've had the flu before, and when I have that, I focus on what I'm going to do when it's over, and how I kind of took life for granted. I thought I'd be able to get out of bed every day and do whatever I want to do, and there I am stuck in bed. So focusing on how you'll enjoy life more, and you'll contribute more. These things can be very positive for you, not just in the sense of making you feel good, but in the sense of releasing those chemicals that you really need to get better. Because there's more and more research now that shows that your thoughts really do matter. If you're focused on negativity, then your body is programmed to respond to that, and the outcome could be something you really don't want. So focus on the future and focus on something positive that's happening or that could happen in your life.
That's a really good, great advice. That what they need to change thought, right? The change to. I believe that I can relate it to the John Assaraf, one of the mindset coach. You probably know him, John Assaraf. it's a habit, right? It's every day what we think most of the time, continuously, repetitively, we are thinking, and it's something become a belief, right? So okay, if I can't do this, I can't do that. I'm sick. I'm sick. I'm sick. And later on, you start to believe that you're sick now. And when you start believe sick, and you continuously set a habit of okay, I'm sick, 6%, sick, and then you start reaffirming that, okay, I'm not good enough anymore. And later down the track, you become a very sick person, isn't it, Steve?
Absolutely. And John Assaraf is a friend of mine. I was talking with him just the other day. He's going to start promoting my hypnosis audios, and I'm very honored that he's going to do that. And yes, he has NeuroGym, and he works with a lot of psychologists, and he is a big believer in that because he knows the truth. He knows the science behind it. He knows that what we've been talking about is true, and it's been shown by science that yeah, if you want to get sick, one of the best ways to do that is by focusing on how sick you are. If you want to get better, one of the best ways to do that is by focusing on how healthy you are. Absolutely.
Exactly true. Oh my God, I didn't know that you're a John friend.
Yeah, I've known John for a friend of mine, Frank Mangano, and I wrote a book called You Can Attract It about 15 years ago, and John wrote the foreword for that. So we've been friends ever since. Yeah, he's a great guy.
Well, I'm now in the cycle of successful people right now.
I'm honored to be with you. You know, you're successful, like I said, the minute you embrace your potential and your passion, and you've done that. So that's why things are manifesting for you, Phil.
Thank you. So when I start manifest, you probably know Helen Midas and Helen Midas hypnosis, Sheila Granger and Sheila Granger. I studied from Sheila Granger visual gesture bending technique as well. Selena, Mark. So what a small cycle, or I would say.
It's a small world. I just was talking with my assistant today. I'll be doing something with Selena in February. She's doing getting a group of speakers together. So Selena's going to have me on the panel. So that's nice. Yeah, now that you're focused on your contribution, Phil, what you're going to find is these things are just normal for you. This is just what's going to happen all the time. You're going to be dealing with people who you refer to as successful, but they're really just people who focus on their contribution, and they do that. You do that long enough, and you become what people call successful. That's just going to be normal for you.
Thank you, Steve. It's a great pleasure. Anything that you wanted to add in coronavirus? You know, our purpose is I truly believe that now all my happy chemicals came out of my body right now. I feel so good. So I felt that the sense of achievement is something happening because even though I really want to do it, you share more deeply enough. I think if we fulfill what suffering people need in Myanmar, in Australia as well, I'd like to thank you. So is there any other thing that you want to add before we go to the studio room?
Well, I do have a free hypnosis audio for your viewers if they want that. So if this is the time to mention that, I'll go ahead and do that. Is this the time to mention that?
Okay, so those of you who ever watch on live right now, Steve offering free hypnosis CD for you, so we can send out, right, Steve?
Absolutely. It's a download. You don't even need to get anything mailed to you. Yep. You can just, it's very simple. You can just go to stevegjones.com, and it's a free 1-hour hypnosis audio that I've got for all your viewers, Phil. So stevegjones.com. It's a hour-long hypnosis audio. Just listen to it every night as you go to sleep for 3 weeks. If you miss a few nights, that's fine. Phil, you may want to post the link if you want to. And it's about manifesting wealth, which I think in this time, people can use that, and anyone can use it because it's about what we're talking about, tapping into your contribution and sharing that with the world.
Steve G. Jones, and what do you call it? A stroke or SteveGJones.com.
SteveGJones.com. Yes. So 1 hour hypnosis audio. It's free. There's no charge. You can download it right now. You can start listening to it tonight. And it's designed to help you unleash that, that beauty and power within you that you have, that you can monetize, that you can bring out to the world, whether you're a writer, producer, whatever you may have inside you. It's to help you reach in and find that. Now's a great time to do that when people have a lot of free time and a lot of people don't have a job. And you can start releasing that to the world, your contribution, and then you can monetize it. That can become a new career for you.
Thank you, Steve. I think we cover a lot, and we're still in the studio. Let me just end the live right now. So see you in the studio, Steve.
Okay.